Private Class Testimonials. Daniela Williams, Italy. Hello Neil, I want to thank you for yesterday's lesson. So simple but so efficacious. I have daily pain to my right hip and knee, I know, because I feel it my hip is hurting for muscle tension, I suppose is iliopsoas muscle which does not ever relax. Well, both hip and knee stopped hurting just after your lesson. I wish you could teach me some simple exercise to do myself, to help me dealing with this problem. Mrs. Pratima Smith, Vedic student, USA. While my son was doing his teacher training with my son, I informed him about my health issues. He listened to my story and then told me that I should start with correct diet and losing at least 10 kilos of weight. On my acceptance, he taught me the changes necessary in my diet and activity. He taught me some very simple exercises. I followed this routine for 2 months. Within 2 months, I felt tremendous improvement in my health. I lost around 8 kilos, and I'm also feeling tremendous increase in the energy level. My thyroid and blood pressure medication has reduced to 50% of the original amount. I am feeling light and energetic. I shall continue to follow Dr. Neil Kulkarni's guidance. I am extremely grateful to him. Anant Madhav Klekar, Class I Officer at Defense Research Development Organization, Department of Defense, India. My 25-year-old son developed tremors in hands around 5 years ago. We first ignored this as a minor thing, but later this led to inability to use hands in his job at the bank. This was followed by difficulty in walking, with tremors in legs and imbalance as well as heaviness in feet. The tremors also reached his neck. Within a period of 6 months, he had to quit his job, and stop all independent walking outside home. He was unable to perform basic functions with hands such as eating, wearing clothes, writing, taking shower, etc. This was a shock to our family and we did approach homeopaths, Ayurvedic doctors, and allopathic neurologists. Ultimately, we settled with an extremely reputed and demanded neurologist in Pune, and a course of 3 oral medications and 1 expensive biannual injection started. While this gave some relief and checked his symptoms from growing, his condition did not improve much and he developed physical weakness as well as mental fears and worries. Out of sheer luck, we met Dr. Neil Kulkarni at one family function, after our son suffered the above condition for almost 2 years. Though we know Neil for over 40 years, we had not been in touch with him for the past more than 15 years. We asked him whether there was any remedy in yoga for our son. He decided to check him out. In the first meeting, he examined several things of our son, and suggested he takes a daily 1-to-1 session and also a rigorous change in the food. We had no option, as we felt no other remedies had worked. We made the instructed changes in the food within a week. Neil gave average 1.5 hours exercise instruction each single day for 10 months. He ensured that our son fully understood what is to be done, how it is to be done, and that our son actually did it. These were the changes or improvements we experienced solely due to Neil's instruction. Our son started walking within the home, then extended it outside, started going independently to Neil's class in a taxi after 4 months approximately. He started climbing steps with difficulty up to total of 3 floors a day, and reached climbing 40 floors a day in 4 months. His exercise level increased to 3 hours a day. His psychological conditions improved tremendously with confidence and interest in life returned fully. He has been able to do all his personal activities independently. All the oral medication was gradually cut off and no medication has been taken since last 6 months. The only medicinal treatment at the being is 1 neurological injection that is given each 6 months. We plan to eliminate that too. Except the tremors in hands, which Neil estimates to reduce substantially in 2 years, all the other symptoms and difficulties have reduced to negligible level. After 12 months, our son was able to join a job and has been going for work for the past 5 months. Now, he goes to Neil's class only on the weekends, does yoga for 1.5 hours a day at home, and climbs 20 floors a day, without missing a single day. His diet seems to have changed permanently. He did not get any illness in the past 15 months, and his fitness has increased tenfold. He is enjoying his life and has joined Neil's yoga teacher training since 3 weeks ago. He plans to help others with his yoga and health knowledge and experience. This experience is no less than miracle. We wish that many should benefit from Dr. Neil Kulkarni's work, and his knowledge spreads to the needy ones. Fabrizio in Sicily, Italy. I'm so grateful that I could meet Neil in my path. Our time was just a week in Sicily, but it was for me so intense that it was enough to give me the discipline that I already had but that I wasn't able to put in the daily routine. I did yoga in the past with so many persons and teachers, different kind of yoga, but I never had the chance to meet a master, and it was the first time that I felt the need to be a disciple in some way, trying to learn from a so deep knowledge of yoga and this ancient part of the world that is Indian philosophy. With Neil we talk about different topics very interesting, and he taught me a very personal yoga, based on his experience and his yoga system, that he invented, but in a way that he could help me on my needs. I found very interesting his way to not force people to believe that we have to follow his system or another particular, but that we are all different and each one has to follow his own. I really thank you again, Neil, and I really hope to host him again in the future in Sicily. Raju Jain, shopkeeper, Pune. I am Raju Jain, phone, 808-768-6727. I was told by my doctor that I have a problem of blood pressure, BP, during the blood donation camp. I was prescribed medicine that I was taking. But, I knew the side effects of such a medicine to be the worst. I was worried about my condition. On discussion with many friends, I was told that meditation and yoga would be the best solution. I bought 3 books on yoga, but I was not getting much through them. I needed a guru for it, a perfect guru. God sent me Kulkarni sir. Within 2 or 3 of his statements, I made up my mind. He is the perfect yoga mahaguru in the world, I guess. I took 5 private lessons. I lost 8 kilos of weight in 2 months and I feel so light. I have totally given up the BP medication a month ago. I look young and feel energetic. My family is very happy. I am sure taking private lessons is more effective in such a case. I am very thankful to Neil Kulkarni sir for making me his student. He also gave me meditation instruction that matches my Jain religion and made my mind peaceful, without worries, and focused on Mahavir Jain. Raju Jain. February 8, 2017. Ravindra Cookade, civil engineer, Pune. My experience during Yoga Toot by Neil sir. I was suffering multiple pain at lower back. Doctor was not sure when this pain will be cured. I was helpless. My weight had also considerably increased. On 10th of November 2016 Mr. Neil sir luckily met me near his residence. I expressed my wish to have therapeutic yoga for pain and weight reduction. He examined my condition. Then started the therapy from next day. It is now almost 37 days over for the therapy. Pain has reduced. I have lost almost 8.5 kilograms of the weight. During this weight reduction program I am not feeling tired or hungry. It is happening very easily. I had tried many options in past, but I was not able to reduce so much of weight. Thanks to Neil sir for helping me. Ravindra Cookade. Deepak Kulkarni, business, India. Neil sir. I am very lucky to have a yoga teacher like you. As you know, I had massive heart attack on February 13, 2016. One day my daughter-in-law asked me to meet you for recovery and fitness post-heart attack. After discussion you taught me yoga for 15 days and gave me some diet instructions for fast recovery. I did all yoga exercises and also followed all your diet instructions. As you had said, in 6 months, there was a tremendous change in my body. I became much fit and fine. In fact, so many people told me that I looked very young and handsome. I am extremely thankful to you for your training of yoga. I appeal to everyone, please start doing yoga for at least 20 minutes a day for a better health. Further, I started further yoga training with you on 15th of September till to date. And, I have gained further flexibility, loss of weight and deeper understanding of yoga. This is prompting to enter yoga teaching profession. One of my close friend also joined you after seeing my progress. Filippo Logato, physiotherapist, Italy. I met Neil in the summer of 2015. I immediately realized his authenticity as a yoga teacher. I got physical and mental benefits from the classes I took with him. With time, he proved to be a great friend in addition to being a great teacher. So, I decided to join his teacher training. I studied in London for a month and in France for a half. In London, Neil's location was very far from my location. Therefore, reaching him was not regular in time. But, he was always available to me with dedication. In addition to strong teaching skills, I learnt a lot about myself, physically as well as mentally. Neil has training and experience necessary to provide knowledge of yoga and all its aspects, thus preparing student for optimal individual as well as teaching practice. The last 15 days we spent in a wonderful place in the north of France, fresh air, lots of green, rooms suitable to the practice, and the right company helped make the perfect workout. This was in addition to the continuous supervision of the teacher. I was benefited with sharing studies and practice with highly talented and enthusiastic trainees. The experience was extremely positive. Thanks for the opportunity that Neil has given me and for his sincere friendship. I wish him the best of luck and the greatest happiness possible, that his desires come true, and may he always continue to teach with passion and with happy face. May the winds always be in his favor. Namaste. Filippo Lo Gatto. Anna Sobchak, Napoli. Maestro, I still need to thank you for the teaching you gave me, even if it was short and improvised. It had great impact on the quality of the two positions and on some concepts I barely knew. I realized that this was teaching on a totally different level than I usually experience, and it gave me great motivation to study yoga much more profoundly. All the best, have a good time in Avellino. Wes Lynch, Senior Yoga Teacher, California. I would like to offer my heartfelt appreciation for Neil's guidance and teaching of yoga philosophy as well as its ancillary sciences. What makes Neil's teaching so unique is his broader understanding of how yoga fits into the greater picture of India's vast philosophical tradition. When studying a subject such as Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, one cannot isolate the teachings from subjects such as Samkhya and Sanskrit. Most modern-day teachers do not have adequate understanding of these other subjects, therefore the presentation of Yoga Darshana is lacking. This is where Neil truly shines as a teacher. He has a gift of unwrapping the teachings in a clear and precise manner, relating it back to the bigger picture, and then making it relevant and palatable for the modern-day yogi. Thank you, Neil. Wes Lynch. Certified Yoga Instructor. Marison Fusion, Yoga Teacher, California. You might be asking yourself, why study yoga philosophy? Maybe I should just focus on the poses. But for me, combining the poses, Sanskrit, and philosophy, it brought depth into my practice. Studying the sutras will enhance your practice and you will see it grow. These threads, as sutra translates from Sanskrit, of wisdom offer guidelines for living a meaningful and purposeful life. If you have the opportunity to study the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali with Neil, do it. You will learn so much. Neil does a great job explaining each sutra in depth and clarifies any misunderstanding. The examination of yoga theory will open up a whole new world of perspective and understanding for your practice. I learned that exploring these sutras helps us grow as human beings. I encourage you to deepen your practice and begin this journey. Kindly. Marisol Fusion. Yoga Teacher, California. Mark Stenoff, Physicist, London. I have suffered with insomnia throughout my life. 6 months ago, Neil Kulkarni recommended that I try listening to a loop recording of a tanpura playing a C. He said that I should do this for 1 to 3 months and not discuss it with anyone. My sleep patterns have considerably improved. I continue to use the recording now to maintain good sleep patterns. Mark Stenoff, BSAM Philpfis Minst Vermees Fross, Physicist. Mark Stenoff. Slava, St. Petersburg, Russia. Testimonial after 3 months of yoga practice. After 3 months of regular, every day, no exceptions, yoga practice, I noticed that my life has changed. These changes occurred so smoothly and naturally that result could be determined only after looking into the past. So firstly, I became slimmer. I do not know how many kgs I lost because I have not used scales for a long time. However, surrounding people say that I became slimmer. The same thing says my old clothes that became too big for me. Secondly, I became stronger and hardier. Thirdly, I became more stretched and flexible. Now I can reach by my hands those parts of my body that was unreachable before. Fourthly, and the most importantly, my mind became more clear and calm. I can easily make decisions without doubt. I stopped to argue with people. I find it very easy to arrive at a mutually acceptable outcome of conversation. That helps me to increase results in my business because all negotiations became more efficient. In addition, my relationships with my girlfriend went to a new level of love, trust and support. Thank you, Neil, for opening the door to this wonderful world of yoga. Slava Rezlyanovich, student of nursing, Austria. Dear Neil, so first I want to thank you for the time in Germany. It was a perfect and funny week with you and Philip. I say thank you because you answered all my questions as promised. This week was full of health, fitness and nutrition. On one hand, it was hard for me, but on the other hand, I felt like a changed person fully of energy. When I returned home after the classes, I felt great. I continued my exercises regularly, and I am seeing the benefits. When my school started in September, I lost the practice and I felt stressful. Not doing yoga regularly, I lost my energy. So, in my room, I built an ashram, with your Ganesha book in it. It brought me new energy. I have some problems in practicing alone that no one is pushing me. But, my new focus is to find the balance again. And, I know that with the time I had with you and your words, I am sure to find the balance again. Please do not think otherwise. You did everything correct. Om Shanti. Big nice wishes. Teresia, Princess. Rezlyanovich. Melinda Morais, yoga teacher, Brazil, Paraguay. Meeting Neil was truly a blessing. He is a blessed man with pure heart and with pure intention in all his teachings. He is always smiling and he will teach you how to smile and how to keep that smile upon your face, because finally we are here to transmit love and to be love. Only with a loving teacher we will be able to learn how to act and teach with a loving heart. Beyond this, he is a knowledge man, because love and wisdom come hand by hand. I'm grateful for his help with my singing/chanting and philosophy teachings. He will always try to understand what you want and what you can do with that, because a wish without the action is just a thought. He will try to find the best tool and way for your yoga learning process. Highly recommended, a wonderful teacher. He is a nurturing father. Smile, Melinda Morais. Brazil, Paraguay. Melinda Moores. John Coker, jazz saxophonist/composer/educator. Neil Kulkarni's yoga teaching has greatly benefited me as a musician. In his one-on-one coaching, he provides individualized exercises tailored to your unique needs and goals. As a professional jazz saxophonist, I was seeking advice on what yoga could teach me about breathing and painless, efficient body mechanics. Through practice of the breathing exercises I learned from Neil, my lung capacity and breath control have noticeably improved. I can hold phrases longer, with improved intonation and a more stable tone. I've also found greater focus, especially at the start of my practice session, after beginning with Neil's exercises. Neil was able to apply his encyclopedic knowledge of yoga and health to offer some great advice about posture and playing position as well. Since I began yoga classes with Neil many years ago, I have not experienced the pain of which many of my colleagues complain even in long practice sessions and performances. I attribute this to Neil's masterful teaching of the fundamentals of yoga and his insistence on quality of quantity. More than anything, I deeply appreciate Neil's commitment to teaching the entirety of yoga, including its mental and spiritual components. I can't imagine ever finding a more authentic yoga teacher. I recommend Neil's teaching to all musicians. John Coker, jazz saxophonist/composer/educator. Instructor of music at Northern Virginia Community College www. John Coker. Com. Julie Britton, life coach, Wales, UK. My homework was to sit in silence daily for 30 minutes, which I found very challenging. To focus on one object. I choose my body weight as the topic. Through daily meditation, I remember how I would thrive on feeling hungry, controlling my portions to lose that next kilo. I was able to make choices round food that made me feel light, knowing when my stomach was full and to leave feeling hungry knowing I would feel full after 20 minutes. During special occasions eating high carbohydrate meals and large meals at that. Just drinking water and eating salad the next day to even out the amount of energy consumed. All these strategies and formulas I used to have it an early teenager at 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 years right up to my 30s. Then I started to suffer around food shortly after my father died. Now losing both my parents has left me dissatisfied and using food and drink as a comfort impacting my weight gain. I then started to exercise nearly 1 to 2 hours 5 days a week over the past 2 years which has impacted my back, knees and neck and now I am in so much pain I need to change my eating style altogether. So the biggest things that has helped me on this course is mind meditation with silent sitting for 30 minutes which led from various emotions from anxiety to irritability to anger then eventually peace and mind focus. I have developed control around food, eating less, even enjoyed pizza, pasta and bread which is usually the worst for me and even now I have maintained weight balance through raw food eating, fresh vegetables, juice with fruit. Now every time I plan my food for the day I balance it with 3 sessions of 30 minutes intervals of exercise, yoga, that are gently building strength and stamina maintaining small portions of food or just juice or water. I have found Neil Kulkarni highly educated and well read not just in yoga he reads Sanskrit and has the original theory and history of how yoga started with meditation of the mind. It is through this knowledge I have gained control and power over my body which I am most grateful for. Thank you Neil. I will be back to see you. Lots of love and blessings.